Alrighty then. So I was sitting here trying to figure out what I wanted to play. And I had a load that I needed to finish up, so I hopped in here and I finished it up. And I thought, you know what, I could go for some more American Truck Sim. And then I thought, well, I make a lot of friends online with my opinions and, you know, not being a sheepish fucking left herd follower who just fucking blindly believes what they're told. I was like, why not stream it so I can tell people that they're sheep, that certain people are sheep left herd followers who blindly do what they're told and act on emotion, not logic. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and do this because I'm about to pick up a load here at Target. And this is one of my favorite, in all honesty. American Truck Sim is right up there in the top of my favorites. This is a great game. That looks pretty cool. Okie dokie. So let's get this started up. Make sure lights are on. Pressure gauges, both at about 125, so the governor's already probably kicked off. Application gauge is functioning. I won't go through the whole brake test, although I probably should, but just save some time. Went ahead and disable the parking brakes. First, turn off the hazards. And hopefully this... I saved it there because I wanted to make sure that contract didn't expire. Hold up. Oh, I'm going to have to back this in, aren't I? Yeah, I sure as hell am. Well, I got enough room to get this straightened out and lined up. Last one I had to park, it was fucking horrendous. I was pulling up, backing up. I mean, it was so fucking tight in there to try to get that damn trailer and to get them loaded. It was such a pain in the ass. Took longer than I wanted. Let's see if we can get this thing all straightened up here. We're mostly straight, but I'd love to have it perfectly straight. All right. Still not perfect, god damn it. Close enough for government work. Plus, I like trucking. That's why I got my CDL. I thought maybe someday I'll be able to find a half-decent job that ain't shit with a shit company and do some, at least some local trucking, if not some nearby state trucking. I don't want to go across the country and shit. I don't want to be gone for 2 weeks and then home for... And that's fine for the people that want to do it. And we need people to do it, and they do a good goddamn job of doing it, so I salute them. Just like the fishing game I play, you're not going to find me out on that damn boat either. But I'm glad they do it, because lobster tails and shrimp and fish are fucking delicious, and they put in the hard work, and they deserve to get paid for that, and they deserve to get some props for it. And I will eat the fruit of their labor and salute them. What's that fishing? God damn, that ain't no easy fucking job. I've watched the shows on that and seen that. They're putting in the fucking work. God damn. But I'm getting the benefits, so, you know. And I'm pretty sure they can make good money doing it, which I think is good, and they should be able to. So I salute them. Thank you for delivering those shrimp and occasional lobster tail that I can get. And I do appreciate it. I salute you. Because I sure as hell ain't going to be out there on the boat doing it. God damn it. So we need those fucking hardworking people out there to do it. There we go. those brakes. Lights in the engine. We'll go ahead and put these on for the load. And we'll get them loading this up. I don't know. I probably didn't need the hazards, but fuck it. Okay. Get it started up. I think I wish I had the ability to bind. I don't have enough space on my controller, but I wish I had the ability to bind separate trailer versus tractor brake bindings, but I don't. I have it set for, I don't even know if you can. I think you can do it separately, but then I could go through the whole tug test too. But yeah. Oh, fuck it. I'll do the brake test just for something to do. All right. We already heard the governor go off. Well, maybe not. I'll tell you what, we're going to do this, and then we're going to put it in neutral. Make sure the brakes are off. Put it in neutral. Rev it up about 13 to 15. If I can keep it steady with the trigger on the controller, it's kind of sometimes difficult. Let it get up to 125. Make sure we hear the governor kick off. This keeps me, by me doing this, this is as close as I have because I don't have access to a truck to go through the shit anymore. But since I've already got my CDL, but this will keep me kind of refreshed on the whole process and remembers basic things. I may not remember it all, but this is a good reminder, a refresher. Once this hits 125, we should hear the governor kick off. That was the governor, I believe. Although it sounds kind of low, but that was the governor. All right, now we're going to pump the brakes until it gets down to about 60. I think it's 60, where the low air pressure warning comes on. And the application gauge is working. Okay, low pressure. We'll keep pumping it now until it gets down to about 30. Those should kick on. Yep. Okay, so we know that's working. So that's all working. Now, normally I'd do the 3 tug tests, pull forward with the tractor brake on, see if it stops me. Then turn the tractor brake off, and then turn the trailer brake on, pull forward and see if it stops me, and then the Jake brake or the bar brake, whatever the hell it is that some trucks have where you pull on the handle that's by the steering wheel in the one truck I did. But we'll just do a consolidated all 3 tug test. Once we get back up to, we're in neutral, we're going to go ahead and rev up. Get the governor to kick off again, kick on. Okay, 60, over 60, so the low pressure warning kicked off. About at 75. Like I said, I do this just to, it refreshes you. Anytime you get a chance to, you haven't done something in a while, it's probably a good idea to. I also do the same thing when I'm playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, flying a Cessna 172. I'll go through some of the procedures and checks that I can actually do to kind of refresh my memory on those things for flying. Listening for the governor. Did I miss it? There it is. Okay. All right, now we would do the one and then the other, pull forward, make sure it stops you. But instead what we're going to do is we're just going to, that's off. We're just going to pop them and put it in drive. Okay, tug test completed. We'll say we did all 3. Like I said, I can't bind that. I don't have enough fucking space on the controller. Okie dokie. So we got an 805-mile trip. Estimated 13 hours and 20 minutes. everything's good. Already checked the 2 air pressure system indicators and the warnings and the automatic kickoff of a kick on. The application gauge is working. I think it's time to get on the road. Put these lights back on. Oh, they're on. Okay. All right, let's get to it. Like they say, do it to it, like Pruitt used to do it to it. And we're not going to go around this fucking parking lot when I could come out here, make a right, and then go up there and make a right instead of trying to maneuver through the damn parking lot. Even though GPS was excited about me, that prospect. Me doing that. I don't feel like doing that. Okie dokie. On the road again like Willie Nelson. You are about stupid. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said about. I should have just said stupid. It's always funny people will complain about trucks and truckers and all that shit, but if it weren't for them, your non-self-sufficient asses who rely on the grocery stores for your quote-unquote hunting experience to feed yourselves would not be feeding yourselves. Because you'd go there and look and be like, all the meat's gone, all the food's gone. What do we do? Go home and think about it while you starve is probably what a lot of people would fucking do. I don't know what to do. So thank the truckers, that's what the fuck you do. All of us go to the grocery store, but some people are so reliant, like if the grocery store stopped having food, they would, I think a lot of them would sit there and literally turn to crime and try to get shit and end up probably getting shot or starve. That's what I think would happen. And I am in Texas, I think San Antonio, because that's where I was halfway through a load the other day and I didn't get to finish. I had to go do something, so I put it on, saved it, because otherwise you got to save real quick because you can run out of time and then it starts popping up that stupid music, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and a message that says they expect prompt on-time delivery. Also, I saved before I started the stream because I was going to pick up that load, and loads can time out, and then it's not there anymore. And I wanted this load to, I believe it's Albuquerque, New Mexico, out of San Antonio. So I wanted to get this load. But yeah, I recommend the shit out of this game. It's really a great game. Although I'm kind of upset I can't put sheets and shit on that mattress. Oh. Alright, off we go. If I can make it through the light before it fucking... That already turning yellow. They need to slow these lights down, man. Getting these things through the lights sometimes when it's obviously slow acceleration is a pain in the balls. And I haven't been to San Antonio in a while. I believe that's where the Alamo is that I went to. But the roads kind of do look similar from what I remember. They drop down in, and you got those big sides, and there it looks kind of, it does resemble, from what I remember. A lot of the roads in Texas around San Antonio and Austin and such. So I wouldn't mind living in Texas again. I lived there a brief time. God damn it. Why didn't it just have me take a right then instead of getting on here to go to the left just to turn around? I don't get it. But I did live in near San Antonio and back and forth to Austin. And I gotta tell you, I've lived in a lot of places in the U.S. and I've lived in a lot of places that were very hot, some that were very cold, including Montana and, Maine and, northeastern areas. And I'll be honest, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, places like that. And, I've experienced the heat and the cold, the humidity and the dry heat, etc. And I'll be quite honest with you. The fucking Texas is it was kind of a whole other level of heat. And I've been in places where occasionally it would get that hot. But Texas, god damn, it's like you got Mercury, Venus, Earth, and then you got Texas, which is somewhere between the sun and Mercury, is what it feels like. And it's humid too. Like it wasn't just dry heat. Like you're just pouring sweat. It's fucking ridiculous. But having said that, my two favorite places to live, Florida, and I did like Texas. Tennessee wasn't bad either, but I also factor in politics and some of the things. So Florida is probably my top choice. It's humid because it's the places I lived were around Jacksonville, Florida, and Pensacola, Florida, and surrounding areas and little suburbs and whatever, as well as downtown. But they were, Florida gets pretty damn humid because you've got all the water coming up into the air from the oceans and shit. And so that humidity, you can cut it with a knife at times. But it didn't normally get to 110 in the fucking shade. And it's not as bad as from what I remember. It's been a while, but from what I remember, Florida was not as bad as Texas in that respect. But I do like some Texas, I'm not gonna lie. I am a fan of Texas. I'll tell you a place I always wanted to go and I never got to go there was Texarkana. And I do know why, but it's probably not a valid reason for a lot of people. I looked it up and I was looking at places in Texas and everybody said Texarkana, friendly folk, hometown kind of atmosphere, small town kind of atmosphere. I'm not sure how true that is. And, just generally respectful, friendly, amicable, peaceful people that just want to live their life. So that was on my list of places to go and see if it was a good place. That's another thing. Texas has very nicely upkept, nice buildings, normally you go inside and there's plaques with information about historical facts and pictures and old pictures and shit and history that you can read about in the rest areas. Their rest areas are second to none of any rest areas I've ever been to in any state while passing through or living there, stopping to use the restroom or grab a snack out of the machine or going and see what info they had. While I was in Texas, I would go to the different rest stops and read the information, look at the historical documents or pictures they had, use the restroom. And I gotta tell you, they got people walking around picking up trash. For the most part, it's some of the cleanest fucking restrooms and the rest area restrooms and cleanest grounds, and there's places to walk your dog if you have a dog, and places to get out and sit. Sometimes I think there was maybe some, if I remember correctly, some with like swing sets or shit that, you know, monkey bars, something like that. I forget now, but there were different things for like to kind of occupy kids or, oh shit, why did I do that? Kids or adults whom are still, you know, child leaning, who want to get on that stuff. And I would get on that stuff just for something to do. But honestly, Texas, you got some of the best fucking rest stops I've ever fucking experienced. Just overall great experiences. And I remember talking, there was a lady walking around picking up trash and putting it in the receptacles at one of the rest stops. And I remember just saying hi to her and having a brief conversation with her, friendly, and, you know, just, I'm just telling you. Insofar as the experience of rest stop restrooms, rest stop buildings, amenities there and such. Ooh, yeah, Texas big old steaks. Anyway, Texas has some of the best. I can't say the best because I haven't been to all in the world, but or all in the U.S. But I can tell you that I've been in a lot of states and a lot of state rest stops, passing through, or you know, even living there, needing to stop, piss real quick at a rest stop while I was on my way somewhere in the state where I was living. And Texas is, I would say they're not, I would venture to say they're probably up at the top. That's why I say second to none. I can't guarantee that, but damn, they are very nice rest stops. You pull in, you're like, holy shit, they invest in their rest. Well, that should be their motto at the rest stops. In Texas, we invest in our rest. Drive safe. Have some education inside when you read all our stuff. It's pretty cool. And the Alamo, I always wanted to go there. And there's two different things there, though. There's the free tour, where it's not really a tour. You tour yourself. There's no tour guide or anything. You walk around, you read the stuff. You can look at most of the stuff. To gain access into, from what I remember, like the main church or Alamo building that they have standing there still, excuse me, and some other stuff, you have to pay. And I didn't have the money to pay, and I was kind of just in the area. Oh, fuck me, come on. So I didn't get the whole guided tour or get to explore the inside of the buildings or whatnot. But and at some point in time, I'd love to go back and do that. But even the stuff that's free to walk around and look at, and the big huge plaques and the information and the old photos and the documents and the different stuff you can actually see, that gives you a lot of historical context and history, education about the Alamo and the area, and shows old pictures. The free tour, the self tour, I call it. It was nice. It was really cool. I enjoyed that, and I'm really hoping to go back again sometime. And we're good on fuel, and take the actual paid tour, because that is definitely a historical site that you want to keep funded and let them maintain it. And, you know, that's stuff you lose stuff, and it's gone. You lose history or historical context, historical pictures, documents, facts, not, get lost and, forgotten, and they're gone. So I'd love to, I'm glad they do have I understand it kind of sucks. It sucked for me. I didn't have the money to go through the actual guided tour or go through the inside the buildings and all that, but I understand they need to have money, because there's upkeep, and there are people out there that are, even outside doing your own self-tour, there are people that you can go to. There were tables. I remember going to a table where it had old ammunition and talked about weapons, weaponry of the era, and there were different tables like that, like clothing, and people were dressed up for the period, I believe, if I remember correctly, and talked about it, and that was all free, and that was interesting. Somebody's paying these people. or they're doing it, or it's volunteer. But either way, they're still paying. They're still using their time. So if you want to keep places like that alive, you gotta. It's just like games that you want to keep alive, like Elite Dangerous. You got to be willing to throw out a little bit of money every once in a while and buy a ship or some cosmetics or something, because they're not charging a monthly. So I don't have a problem with that. But you know, it's when you restrict people from the basics. You know, like a concealed weapons permit, you make it too expensive for the common person to be able to get it, then you are restricting a right or something people should have access to, based upon finances, which is, you know, you're ostracizing and prohibiting. But I get it. Things like the Alamo, things like Elite Dangerous, you got to be willing sometimes to put out a little bit of money. It benefits you and everybody else, as well as keeps that thing going, which benefits you. And every day we got idiots that want to rewrite history, tear down statues, destroy history, which aids the people who want full control, government, etc., in taking that full control, because the first step to taking full control is to erase and rewrite history, because he who writes history also writes the future. He who writes, destroys, erases, and rewrites and controls the past also gets to then control the future. So you always want the truth of the past out there. And also, if it's not out there, you don't have it, you can't learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, you're doomed to repeat the bad parts of that history. Well, that's my opinion. I stand by it. And, you know, you can kiss my ass if you think history should be destroyed, rewritten, and not, you know, maintained. Thanks for stopping by, I guess. You know, because fuck you, that's why. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Hey, at Amazon, they deliver smiles. Tell you what else they deliver. They deliver through places like UPS. Sometimes FedEx does it too, who takes packages that aren't even fucking boxed and clearly show what's in them that somebody would want to steal, and they set it outside in front of the fucking garage instead of bringing it inside to the foyer and setting it in there, so that everybody and their brother can see what it was and decide if they want to steal it. Or that it is in a box inside, but they can still look at that box and say, hey, you know what, I might want to steal that. So that's also what Amazon does when they ship things. They use, and I'm really starting to get aggravated at UPS and FedEx, mainly UPS, because they've got lazy fucking drivers in Butte, Montana, who don't put the shit inside the goddamn foyer and risk it getting stolen. And I've had a package stolen and literally told Amazon, yeah, I never received that. So Amazon and the people who, you know, bought it was purchased through, said, okay, well, we have to then, you know, if you never received it, we're going to go with your word, which I will give Amazon credit for. And what we're going to do is we're just going to mark it as not received, and we can either issue a refund or... So Amazon does have some really good policies, I will be honest. But at the same time, if they'd stop using these shitty fucking... Or at least crack down and call up the company and say, hey, this is the report we're getting. You need to stop doing that. We have multi-million or billion-dollar contracts with you for delivery and breaks on delivery and, you know, cost cutting and whatever. You are costing us money if you are that lazy. You're our delivery people, and we have a contract with you. We need you to, you know, do your job properly. But Amazon doesn't seem to want to do that. They've been told about it numerous times. It doesn't seem like it's worth their while, I guess. So eventually I'm going to start going to the UPS place and the FedEx place. And there's a couple places here in Butte, Montana, where I am going to go, and I'm going to say, let me talk to the supervisor, please, because this is what's happening. And it needs to stop happening, because you've already cost one package that we could have inevitably, you know, we, as in me and Amazon, could have inevitably been, responsible for, but instead Amazon took the brunt, or the company that sold the thing took the brunt. I guess Amazon probably refunds them or whatever, or just refunds us out of their wallet, I'm assuming. But, and then lets me and the company not be on the hook for it. But it's, I'm going to go to UPS and be like, hey, fuck sticks. Seriously, I get it. You're doing a job. But you know what? You want to save time, but here's the problem. You were risking my shit being stolen. So how about you do your job and put the shit in the damn foyer? I mean, I ordered it was a printer. And it wasn't placed in another box. One of those printer, scanner, fucking copier fucking things, right? The whole works. And it wasn't placed in another box. And I think I do need to go this way. It was literally showed on the box. Oh, fuck me. God damn it. I didn't need to go this way. Fuck me. Okay, so we're going to be doing some backtracking. Anyway, and they literally, it was small enough it easily could have fit in the foyer. This is plain laziness. They just got out of their truck, ran it up to the front of the garage, set it in front of the garage, the picture facing out. Everybody driving by can clearly see it's a printer of some value. God, I missed my turn again. They can clearly see that. And so they're risking shit being stolen doing that. And I'm just like, no. Stop. Bad, lazy UPS driver. You know what I need to do? I need to try to remember what my windshield wipers fucking bindings are. So we're gonna do this. Oh. Was it? I think it was. God damn it. That's not it. Well, what the hell is up and down with the right button up and down? Hold on. We gotta figure this out. If I don't have anything bound there, I literally could change those to the brakes. I think it's this. Okay, that's the windshield wiper. Right button up and down doesn't seem to do anything. That's actually, if that's the case, I might be able to get those, hold on, let me see. Left button up and down windshield wipers. Okay. See if I have a right button up and down bound to anything. Right button left. Oh yeah, that's cruise controlled speed, increase and decrease. All right, never mind then. I don't want to lose those. Damn, I was excited there for a second. Do I have a left button left and right? Oh yeah, that changes that shit. Yeah, I've got this Elite V2 Xbox wireless controller to my PC, and it's pretty much bound up. I don't think I can get anything else on here. I think there might be one button combination that I have noted that I can use, but I need two. One for the tractor and one for the trailer brake. So I've got everything on here that I need. I hate to lose something to put those on there. So I'll have to look at it at some point. I wouldn't mind being able to have individual on there just so I can do the tug test. But here's the thing. Honestly, when I was going through for the CDL, and other than the tug test, it's always pull them both, push them both in, pull them both out. I mean, so the majority of the time, it makes more sense just to have the binding for both of them. So the only reason why I'd be doing this individual is for the tug test. And I've got it set because of binding constraints. I've got it set that it does the engine brake on its own, or every time I use the brake, it does auto engine brake for the most part. But I do have one binding left that I could, one key binding combination I could set up in here so that I could also have that set to manual, so it didn't do that all the time, which is more realistic. Which I may look into. I just don't remember what that button combination was that I still have available on the controller. If I was rich, just like that one guy that I mentioned his stream and linked it in one of my past American Truck Sim streams, that he's apparently been on my channel before, and for American Truck Sim, he's got an amazing setup. I would have that fucking setup. He's got the big wheel with all the buttons and all the knobs, and like when he's playing American Truck Sim, he's not playing American Truck Sim. He's in the fucking thing. Like he's playing this. He's in that game. You know what? I wonder if I can get some fuel up here. And that'll help. I might be able to just finish off this trip without having to stop. It's right across the way over there, but I don't know if... It looks like I can get in there. It looks like it does. It has a fuel symbol, so... And I just don't know. It's not very roomy. Oh, look at you. Just darting right at... Surely you had a red arrow or a red light. Well, no, you had green, but you just decided to go. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Ooh, this is going to be tight as fuck. Man, I don't know. We're going to have to really get this straightened out. Maybe it's not as tight as it looks, but it looks pretty damn tight to get through. But I do want to get filled up if I can. Straighten it out a little bit more. We might be alright. Give me a drink of coffee while I'm sitting here. Alright. We're going to have to go off to the right some because that trailer is cocked to the left. Ooh. I think we barely missed that back there with those left rear trailer wheels. At least we got a full tank now. Means I can get most, if not the whole trip done, without having to stop again. Bro's got the moves. Look at him back there dribbling. About to go in for a layup. Nope, don't do that. I had to alt-tab for a second. While I'm driving. Alt-tabbing and driving can kill a friendship. And a truck, and a house, and some other people's cars. I'm trying to remember that town I was in Texas for a bit. What the hell was it? What the fuck? Oh, hold up. We got an issue here. I gotta pull over. Ooh, that was way too far. Okay. I got something on my monitor, and that is unacceptable as hell. I gotta clean that. I can't have that. That looks horrible. It's ruining the whole immersion. So we're gonna put some alcohol in here, clean that spot off, and then dry it off with the dry. Keep it from having too many streaks or anything that I might notice in the black space. Okay. Boom. Yeah, I can't. I'm a stickler about that shit. That ruins my immersion and my enjoyment, and the graphics. Like, it just destroys the graphics if you got a big splotch. It probably came from me coughing or something. Who knows? He's over there talking to the cows. All right, back to work. You gonna go or are you gonna let me out? They do this all the time. They'll actually stop. Even if you're not in their lane, you're in the turn lane, you put on your turn signal. The opposing traffic will stop. This is how bad the AI is, though, in this game. Opposing traffic they'll stop, like they're gonna let you go across. You're like, okay. Then you start to go across, make your turn, and suddenly they just start again. And you're like, holy fuck. They're like real drivers. A lot of real fucking idiots behind the wheel. I'm just being honest. I definitely like to stream this game just because Twitch will record it for me, and I've had crazy shit happen in this game at times with the AI, or something weird happen with the truck or trailer, occasionally the tractor or trailer. Like I said, that's mainly why I stream. It doesn't hurt anything. It just not hurting my play or slowing me down or messing with my FPS or anything. So I just record, and then if I catch shit, there's certain people that I'll have come. I'll send them links and be like, you gotta check this out. So that's why I stream. I'm not trying to be some fucking professional streamer. This is personal fucking shit, really. I tend to do about 5 or 10 normally. I mean, if the speed limit's like 60 or 50 or 55, sometimes I'll set the cruise for that particular speed, but for the most part, if I have a load, definitely, or I'm hauling a trailer, I tend to feel pretty comfortable doing 5 or 10 under. Doesn't slow the trip down too much, and it makes sure that with the controller, which is a little more hairy at steering sometimes, I can make the curves, and I have room for overhead mistakes, which I make quite often times. It's not the most detailed steering with the controller. It's kind of hard curves. You think you can put it in, the curve doesn't change, and you put the controller tilt, the left stick, in the same position for the curve the whole time, but still it acts like it's not in the same pressure to the left or the right, and so it'll let you go wide or narrow, so you have to keep adjusting. Oh my god, dude. Wow. Anyway, so it's not the most detailed easy steering with an Xbox controller in this game. I would love to have the big wheel and all the buttons and all. Holy shit. I should link that dude's channel again. He this black guy that's like I said, came on my channel. I linked it in another video. It's underneath one of my other American truck. I went and checked out his channel, and he has some setup that is just godly. It is the ultimate American truck sim fucking setup. The big wheel, all the buttons in the dash with all the shit. I mean, I think he had like 3 monitors too, if I remember. I mean, he has the American truck sim fucking setup. It's just, he gets in on that. You know he's enjoying the shit out of it, which I support. That's what gaming's about. But man, he has an amazing setup. Absolutely amazing. I want to contact him. Hey, bro, why don't you let me use some of that? Why don't you let me borrow some of your equipment for a minute, just so I can say I enjoyed American Truck Sim to its utmost level one time. Seriously though, he put some money and some time into that. I'd really like to. I think I'll link his channel again underneath this. I went and looked at his video. Man, what a setup! I'm in awe. I'm like, this guy is serious about his American Truck Sim. He's not fucking around over there. Bro is on the up and up. No fronting, no games. He's like, this is my setup. What you got? I got a controller and a single monitor. that's what I got. No pedals, no shit. He has all the pedals, the shifter, the buttons, the I mean, it's the monitors. This dude, I respect the shit out of that, but this dude looks at my setup and says, "You peasant, you scrub." That's what he thinks. And I don't blame him. Compared to his setup, I am nothing. The amount I would love to know, though, I'd love to contact him and ask him. I have to know, how much money have you invested to have all of that badass setup? Because I guarantee it was a pretty big penny. He put money into that shit. But hey, if you got the money and you enjoy the gaming, I mean, hell, he could have been a trucker for 10, 20 years for, to mine, I don't know. And so he's like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I want it to be realistic as possible. Be as realistic as possible. I don't blame him for that. That's, the more immersion you can get from a game, the more entertainment and enjoyment you get out of it, the more break from life you get from it. So, I mean, let's be honest. It's worth it if you have the money. I support the hell out of that. You know how close we are getting to having holodecks, VR scenarios, like in Star Trek, etc. I mean, they're coming up with the floor now where you walk and you feel like you're walking and your legs are moving and it's going across the floor, but it's got things that let your feet go across the floor as if, so that you're not actually going anywhere. I saw this on a video the other day, and so you can literally have a full VR experience where you're walking or running and jumping in a small confined room like a holodeck with the VR set on. And we're not to the point to where the whole room is VR by itself. You have to still wear the headset, but you can actually in movement now. You can actually be walking in the game. with the VR headset on, and everything around you you're looking at is VR, and your feet are moving, your legs are moving, your body thinks you're walking, and you are technically, but your feet are sliding across these things. I mean, it's only a matter of time. We are well on our way to full, true holodecks. I mean, man, I pray I am not only alive for those advancements when they come out full, commercial, but, young enough to actually get up and enjoy a holodeck style experience. Imagine that. Man. And with AI and shit that they're doing with the games, which is good and bad, it's a double-edged sword. But, AI has its issues and risks, big risks, in my opinion, that we need to put in check, and we're not. But with the AI in the game, too, able to procedurally generate and, write the code and alter your experience. I mean, we are well on our way to some amazing holodeck style gaming and experiences, and I want to experience that shit. I wants it. Talk, text, crash. That's true. I really need to get on my motorcycle videos. I have a bunch of rides that I need to edit some stuff out. Like the one time I'm heading up the mountain on the way back from a place just where I ride to sometimes in the summer on the bike, on the motorcycle. And there's a truck in front of me, and he's going real slow going up the hill, mountain. And I'm going real slow behind him. And I'm like, okay, somebody's slowing him down, or is it him? And I get out to the side, and I see there's a car. There's plenty of room in the slow lane, but this car is in the fast lane just crawling up the mountain, right? And I'm like, okay, this is obviously either an impaired driver, impaired through alcohol, or impaired through, distraction, radio, phone, something, some idiot up here. And I took a guess in my head. I said, it's probably a woman, probably playing with her fucking phone, probably a young girl, because that happens a lot. So, sure enough, she finally realizes she's oblivious to the world around her. She finally realizes that there's an open lane to her right. She's slowing everybody down behind her, going up the mountain. So she gets over in the right lane, and sure enough, I come pulling up beside her, and I'm like, yep, young girl playing on her phone. Still, even after that, realizing that wasn't enough to shake her, she's still sitting on her fucking phone playing, not even hardly looking at the fucking road, in the slow lane now, finally at least, and still playing on her phone, looking at her phone, going up the fucking mountain. Some young girl, I would estimate she maybe 16 to 20, 16 to 18. I think she's probably 18 or less, but she looked like a young girl. And it just pissed me off, so I pulled up beside her, and I remember looking over at her, and then I honked at her several times. She finally looked up from her phone, looked over at me surprised, and I did the whole phone hand thing with the pinky out and the thumb up to my left side, and then slammed it down like I was slamming down the phone and yelled, hang up the fucking phone. And she got all surprised and then quickly put down her phone. I'm like, she's going to kill herself or somebody else, not just inconvenience everybody else on the fucking road. She's going to kill herself or something. You would think that if you get distracted and then you realize, oh shit, I'm slowing everybody down, there's a whole lane open to the right of me, that would be enough to wake you up and go, maybe I should stop playing with my fucking phone and focus on the road. But no, that's what aggravated me the most. Had she put her phone down after that, I'd have just been, all right, well, that happens. But she didn't even learn from that. She's continued in the passenger lane, in the slow lane, staring at her phone 99% of the fucking time I was beside her watching her, and hardly looking up at the fucking road. So she didn't learn a damn thing from already impeding traffic, and everybody, the truck in front of me, and then myself, and then I don't know if there's anybody behind me, having her inconsiderate douchebaggery, having to be slowed down and crawl up the fucking mountain because it was so important that she was on her phone. That's what aggravated me. It wasn't that she did it the first time. You know what? People learn, people do shit, everybody does. Myself included. Fuck around, fuck off, make mistakes, whatever, not pay attention sometimes. But it was the fact that even after that, she got over and went right back to business as usual. And literally continued on. And that's what pissed me off. And I'm just like, you know what? Douchebag. Okay, holy shit, look how close. Okay, well, he's not as close as I thought, but I remember this too. It's 15, no closer than 15 feet, no further than 50 away to stop at the tracks. Roll down your window, look, listen, and live, they say. Don't shift going over the tracks, stay in the gear that you're in. And once you get through the tracks, confirm that you yourself and the tractor or the trailer's over the fucking tracks and all's well, and then proceed through your driving and shift. That's what they say. That's what they told me. I don't think I'm going to put down my window every fucking time I would approach tracks. I mean, maybe if I was hazmat, like hauling hazardous materials or something that's explosive or, but other than that, I would just make sure my truck's running. I don't shift going over the tracks. And if I have to stop, it's no more than 15. No less than 15. No more than 15. Wait, what is it? No closer than 15 feet. No further than 50 away. I guess is the best way to phrase it. And if nothing's coming, then I'll proceed over and not shift. And but I don't see me rolling down. I don't see rolling down the window every fucking. It's freezing out, or it's hot out, and you got the AC on, or you got the heat on. I don't know that I'm going to roll down my window just for a normal load. I don't think I see trucks doing that either. Just like they tell you you're not supposed to shift through the intersection. And I get why they say it, and that was part of the test. Don't shift through the intersection or whatever. But if you're going through the intersection and you're starting off in third gear, and you don't want to crawl through the intersection and hold everybody else up, naturally you're going to be like, oh, I'll let off the gas here, let it drop down and shift into the next fucking gear so I can be on my way and everybody else involved can be on their way and we can all make it through this damn intersection without more stupid shit. So, I mean, again, it's something else that they say that I'm just like, really? I get why you're saying it, but it's not very practical and it's not very helpful. If I can shift, why not let me I get the tracks. I'll go with the tracks, not shifting, but you're going through an intersection, you're trying to get the hell through it, and you're trying to let other people get through it. And you've got the RPMs and you're going through it. Why would you not shift to the next higher gear instead of having to crawl through it fucking 10 miles per hour and slow everybody and their brother up? That's, that's my logic to it. But it was part of I would have been docked for it had I shifted through an intersection or shifted over the tracks, which I get. And I would have been docked for it. I think out of the whole test I got because some of the things were 10 points. There were 2 or 3 things that were not the best. They weren't the worst, but so I got docked a little bit. So I think out of the whole 200 and some odd points, I only lost 20 or 30 for 2 or 3 things. I think it was maybe a couple points for I think I had to do an extra pull forward on the off center reversing back in the trailer into an alleyway simulation with cones set up in the parking lot to simulate that. So I think I lost a point or 2 or 3 or some shit like that for doing an extra pull up because you only get so many. I think I lost a point or 2 or something like that for doing an extra pull up to back that trailer off center, off to the right into a little alleyway simulation with the cones. But it wasn't too bad. I was actually surprised. To be honest, I was surprised I would pass the fucking thing the first time. because, you know, I was like, oh my God, it's so close to that pole back there. And these are really narrow street. It's right here. Anyway, yeah, I was like, you know what? I already prepared myself when I went to take the test. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say I'm going to fail it, but I already told myself there's a possibility that I'm a little rough on. I didn't get a lot of experience. I got some driving or whatever there with a tractor and trailer or whatever, but I already kind of planned for it. It's not a big deal. If you don't pass it the first time, just you can take it again. And I think they said you don't even have to take the whole thing. You just have to, I think, you have to take the part that you missed. But I'm not 100% on that. I think I could be conflating or confusing that with the private pilot's license check ride, where they said something about you just have to redo the parts that you didn't successfully complete for the examiner while he's in the plane with you. So it could be that, or it could be both of them are like that. I was just glad I passed it, because I was like, look, I even went out, I even did extra practice. I devoted more time when I went to the school. I was like, look, I want to practice this some more. And I got in the truck and I did all the parking lot tests with the cones and the off-center parking and backing into a simulated alley. And I went over it several times until I felt really good about it, especially right before the test was coming. My testing time was coming up in testing day, just to make sure. And I was like, you know what, I might pass this. I was doing real well, but then I got in the truck with the examiner, and then I was like, I fucked it. I kind of fucked it up a little bit, and I needed to pull up an extra time, if I remember correctly. So, you know, I was doing it the one day, and it was flawless. Everything was. I was like perfect. Parking, pull forward, all the testing I did perfectly. The backing into the alley, didn't have to do any extra pull-ups. The backing to the point and making sure I was, you know, near where I needed to be. And you get out of your trucks to go look and make sure your rear's in between these two cones and all that. It was like flawless for like several days of me doing that before the testing. And then the actual testing comes up, and as is customary, sometimes you prepare, and then you're like, oh, I just fucked that up. It's because you're all focused on the examiner or what they're looking at and thinking about, and you're like, yeah, I shit the bed on that. I'm gonna have to do an extra pull up. But it really isn't. It isn't too hard as long as you do some practice. It isn't that difficult. I'm not the best backer upper, we'll say, when it comes to having a trailer, but I can get it done. It's sometimes not the prettiest process, and sometimes it's extended time-wise more than it should be for somebody like who isn't me, who actually has more experience. But I get her done. And normally I don't even hit anything when I do it. So there's that. $213 miles. But yeah, I do like this game. I need to play it more often. I've been kind of playing Avatar and Far Cry 5, which I also want to get into some here in a little bit. Both of those. I'm real close to, well, relatively speaking to what I was, I'm real close to having the base game, Avatar, done, and then I have like 3 DLCs that I haven't touched yet. So I've got a lot more Avatar to do. That'll be fun. That's a really good game too. Like, that's the whole immersion, the world. It's one of the better games I've played. I have to be honest. Avatar is really good. Frontiers of Pandora, just in case there's another avatar that I'm not aware of. And then there's like 3 DLC, and I'm kind of interested. I'm trying to hurry up and get the Avatar base game done because I want to start into some of the DLC and experience it. But I thought I'd do some trucking tonight a little bit. At least do a load. At least shoot one load. Hardy har har. I was about to say, it's still 30 through here? Holy shit. If I had a line of traffic behind me like I do now, was hauling a load, I'd probably pull over and let a lot of them go by just to let everybody do their thing and reduce the stress on me worried about holding up 50 cars and shit. Especially since I'm not going to be doing the speed limit. But in this game, I want to keep going, so I don't tend to do that. About the time you get in a 65 mile per hour zone, get close up to speed or heading up to speed, and you put on the cruise control, is about the same time that speed limit drops to 45. I think they do that on purpose just so they can speed check people and revenue collect. I swear to God. Shit, I need to get over. Off in the grass on that one a little bit. I don't claim to be the best driver in the world. .35 on this fucking 4-lane divided. Really? Well, I guess it's a lot of curves and short straight stretches, and maybe it's preparing us to slow down again up here somewhere for another little pass through a small town or some shit. Congested area, I don't know. I sure do wish it would go above 35. Santa Rosa. That's in Texas, but oh shit, almost went there. But I did used to live in Santa Rosa County and Escambia County. I think those two are out are by Pensacola side of Florida. Santa Rosa and Escambia. I remember those names. And then Jacksonville was Duval County, if I remember correctly. But I think Santa Rosa and Escambia are both Pensacola adjacent. Or one of them is Pensacola, possibly, I think. Those are the two counties that I've lived in the past in Florida. And I believe they were both Pensacola and Pensacola surrounding areas. And then I think I lived mainly in Duval County when I was on the Jacksonville side. And I'm a fan of Jacksonville and Pensacola. Now Pensacola was like, there's a lot of geographical area of Pensacola, if I remember correctly, and Jacksonville, but Pensacola is more of it's a wide, big area. It's not, like, I wouldn't consider it big city. I mean, it is a city, granted, but compared to like a compact or a bigger city like Pittsburgh with the more of the tall buildings that you imagine when you think city, you think of the skyscrapers, you think of the tall buildings, you think like Pittsburgh, PA. That's what I think of when I think of a city. Pittsburgh, PA. There's some other places I've lived, and been to quite a bit, but I don't, like, Pensacola isn't the same kind of, and neither is Jacksonville. Is closer towards a Pittsburgh layout and with the taller buildings and shit from what I remember. Now Pensacola could have changed, it's been a while since I've been there, but Pensacola was more flat, closer to the ground structures, and expand, like its expanse was big. It was a city in that regard, but not in your initial thought of a city with the big tall buildings all over the, downtown. I don't remember Pensacola being like that. It's not impossible that it was, and I don't remember, but I don't remember Pensacola. I always thought Pensacola, when they said city, I always thought to myself, kinda. I mean, it's big geographically, I think, city-wise. It meets that criteria, geographic size, but not so much the city, buildings and all that. But I did like Pensacola. I like Pensacola beaches. They got some of the whitest sand beaches down there in the world, in my opinion, and from what I understand. And then you can go across the bridge to Gulf Breeze. I used to go to Gulf Breeze. That's kind of a ritzier area. And there was a shop, a coffee shop, and a sandwich shop where they would sell these absolutely massive chocolate chip cookies. I mean, they were fucking, I call them massive. It's like 12 inches round, I think. They're just, and they were, you get them fresh and hot, and they were just absolutely delicious. I remember going there for that. But Gulf Breeze is not the kind of place that I would, that I typically, there's not a lot there. It was more ritzy, like a ritzy suburb of Pensacola. You drive out across the water, across the bridge or bridges, and I think there's even like a 3-mile, a big long bridge that you went across, and that's where a lot of people would live who had the money, or had more money than average. But Gulf Breeze had some nice places to go out to the water too, if I remember correctly. Come on, bro, what are you doing? Are you passing me? Are you, like, what? Let's get this show on the road, because I might need to get over here in a minute. And I feel like I want to go ahead and get over anyway, just in case. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, this is probably not the exit. Probably not what I need to do. Yeah, it isn't, I don't think. I gotta get back over, bruh. Should have just stayed in the center lane. was in Detroit and Lansing and East Lansing, Michigan for a while. And Jesus, man. Even back then, some parts of fucking... Glad I didn't just cut over into him. That would have been a problem. But yeah, even back then, some parts are like a ghost town. It's just... shit. But they don't have the industry anymore. Like the car manufacturers and all that shit. The way everything's changed. And so a lot of places like Detroit and in surrounding little towns turned into fucking ghost towns. Like there's some towns out west as well, Midwest, where people were there for the booms, the oil or the mining or whatever, and then there were towns set up to house those people that worked those fields or worked the mining and shit. This happens a lot in the U.S. and everywhere, I would assume. And then when that shit dries up, or the manufacturing moves, or disappears, or the jobs dry up and disappear, you end up with these towns that people abandon, and these places just fall into disrepair and look like fucking ghost towns. It tends to happen a lot in those situations. And it's kind of cool to go to those places. I've been to some of them. Go to those places and just kind of look around and think about how it was bustling and all the people, and then suddenly, boom, it was done. There's nothing. No reason for people to be there, and a few people that remain, they have to commute to anything they need, or employment, etc. And there's very few people that remain in those places. So it ends up looking like a site of a town in a nuclear disaster zone, like Chernobyl and shit. Maybe it's just me. I like the history of shit, and to see and try to compare what it was like and how it is now, and see the differences and the differentiation between what it was and what it is. I don't know if I should go through this. We'll see if anybody's coming. Okay, we're going. Well, I'm almost there. Now let's see if I've got it set to random. It will either tell me park it in the easiest spot, or park it in a medium spot, or a hard spot. It's all set up to randomly choose how I'm having to park it instead of me choosing, which I like. It adds more to the game, and you never know then. It's just random life in the game, I guess. Looks like it's an easy parking job. The easiest one is that you just skip it. You know, the middle one is normally let's play it safe, and they give you like a straight in like this, and then the harder one is like here's where do you want it type deal. It looks like this. I got the middle one. I don't think it ever skips it when you put it on random, but it's either middle or more difficult. So we got the middle one here, which is fine. Oh, hold up. Here for my annual pop-in. What's going on? Bip. Good to see you this year, sir. I'll see you next year. Sorry, I didn't even see anybody was typing. I don't have the transparent Twitch chat box I normally have up in the game on the screen. So I had to look over and happen to notice on the phone that somebody had typed. Get these brakes on. Going ahead and put that on that. Kill the engine. And we'll unload. Same time next year works fine for me, sir. You just let me know. I'll pencil you in. Oh yeah? Well, feel free to let me know. I'm always interested in hearing different shit. New stuff. Hey, I made some good money off that though. That was San Antonio, Texas to Albuquerque, New Mexico, I believe. Yep. Oh, Austin, Texas. That's right. Austin, not San Antonio. Not San Antone. Yeah. I got that. Let's save my game here. In case something stupid happens. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that, bruh. I do vaguely remember that. But it's been a while. It's been a year or 5 or so. So did you get promoted to admiral yet? Are you running the East Coast fleet? Like what's going on? Let's see. Six years deep in the Navy. Are you going for full retirement? Like, are you planning on putting in another 14, or are you just winging it as you go? Are you trying to make rank, son? Or are you trying to be, commissioned officer? Like, what's going on over there? What's your goal? You want to be a captain? A captain? Got married, moved across the country from Washington to Florida. Holy shit, you know what's funny about that, dude? I am literally looking at, hopefully in the next, maybe even as soon as the next 4 or 5 months, moving to either Texas or Florida. And I've lived in both before. And you were in Washington, I'm in Montana. But I was living in Washington for a while, and then I was also living in Priest River, Idaho for a while, and then I ended up in Montana. So I know Washington area, and I know Idaho, and then now I'm in Montana, but it's possible that I end up moving to Texas or Florida in the next 6 months. Yeah, well, trust me, I know all about Florida. I lived both Jacksonville side and Pensacola side off and on for quite a few years. I'm well acquainted with Florida. But Yeah, Montana's cool. As a matter of fact, speaking of which, I I like Jacksonville, by the way. But speaking of which, I recently, even though Montana, every state I lived in that's been constitutional carry, I still always go get a concealed weapons permit because then it you reciprocates with states that aren't constitutional carry, and it allows you to purchase firearms more thoroughly because they have an agreement with NICS that because they do the NICS check with fingerprinting and all that when I've gotten my permits, that they allow you, you can then go into the fire FFL, buy your firearm, and they can do the NICS later, and you just walk out with the firearm, and they go deal with the rest of that. You don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, well, it depends on where you lived in Washington, dude, because Washington's kind of left run, and they're that's always comes with crime and other shit. But so I recently went on ahead and applied for and got approved for my concealed weapons permit here in Montana, even though you don't need it. But there are some states that aren't constitutional carry, so if I go into those states, I wanted to go on ahead and have my permit. Plus, it speeds up any firearm purchases. But so I have to go pick that up next week from the sheriff's department here and where I'm living in Montana. But I just figured I'd throw that out there. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you weren't in the like left run like Seattle and shit like that. But yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. I gotcha. I don't know much about Guam, but I can imagine. I've seen some things. you know, it is what it is. But when it comes to Texas versus Florida, I would prefer Florida. I like Florida. I like Texas too, but Texas is falling to the wayside on their constitutional support, and the the Muslims are buying plots of land and setting up mosques in their own private cities. And Texas governor is a douchebag, in my opinion, a fucking coward who won't stand up and do what needs to be done. So Texas is starting to fall, and they're being overrun with the legals, and Texas is starting to fall. And their governor is all talk and never does a damn thing. And the heat there is beyond. I said a while ago that there's Mercury, Venus, and Earth, and then somewhere between Mercury and the Sun, Texas fucking orbits. And it's heat, and it's humid heat. And Florida has heat. I've lived there. I know it gets hot, but it's not as bad as Texas most of the time. And it is humid in Florida, but in Texas, it's like I just stood out in the sun for 10 seconds, and it's 110 degrees in the shade, and I'm pouring. Every pore in my body is expelling any fluid I had. Like, and I like Texas. I wouldn't, those are my two choices. If I had to choose, it's Florida and Texas, one of those, but I would prefer Florida. Well, I mean, you support whoever you want, but I don't support the left. I don't support left politicians, and I absolutely do support Trump. And I gladly say it. As a matter of fact, I gladly say it every stream when I start it with this. And then that's, it's what I do. So, it is what it is. I make no apologies for it to anybody. I know what the left is, and I know what they do and what they don't support and what they always vote against the Constitution. I can never support any other politicians. And they're insane at this point, and I don't believe in 99% of anything they stand for. So I'll say it plain and clear. Yes, I support Trump. Absolutely. It's what I do. I don't hide what I have to say. You probably know that. You've been on here before, Yeah, that's the truth. Like, you can't, like, I agree. But to me, from my experiences in life and raising up my right hand to the Constitution, I am a constitutionalist. So I say 100% of the left politicians and 85% plus the right politicians are the fucking same, because our government's come to the point of tyranny. And however, there are some on the right that actually support the Constitution, and none on the left, none of the politicians on the left ever vote in favor of the Constitution. They always vote to restrict, rescind, twist, alter, degrade the Constitution. So I think the left politicians are absolute fucking shit, trash. 100% of those, and at least 85% of the right ones are the same. That's my stance. So I'm not a left or right. I'm a constitutionalist. If you ain't about the Constitution, then I feel you ain't about shit. That's the way I look at it. And most politicians are not about the Constitution, and there's some on the right that are, which is why I would consider myself right before I'd ever consider myself left. And the left is delusional and insane and mentally ill at this point, and fuck them. So that's the way I look at it. But I'm about the Constitution. So even if a politician on the right is not about the Constitution, I'm going to tell him, you're a piece of shit, fuck off, I got nothing for you. And go eat a bag of shit and choke on the corn kernels. That's the way I look at it. So I'm about the Constitution. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a difference between stirring the pot and just standing up for what you believe and what's right. And Constitution is right. And freedom is right. And the Bill of Rights are right. And so that's where I stand. I'm not stirring shit. I'm telling them how it is, because too many people have been silent up to this point, which is how we've gotten to the point where we are now, where our government is in the state it is. So to me, it's way past the point of being quiet or not saying. I go out of my way now to make sure people hear exactly what my arguments are and what my comments are about shit. I don't care. It's how it is, bruh. It's how it is. But anyway, I love my truck. It's a nice International. Drives nice, hauls loads, got a nice paint scheme on it with the sheriff and yeah, I'm pretty psyched. I like my truck. I'd like to put a different engine. Oh shit, did I ever check on that? Hold up, wait a minute. Let's go to services. I need to go somewhere and I forget how to do that now. Do I go in here? World map. I want to put a bigger engine in. Actually, I think I already checked the other day, and there isn't one for this truck, which is a shame. Let's see if there's a international dealer. See, it's going to be in here somewhere. Truck dealers is what I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. I think this is where I have to go. I need to find an international. That's Kenworth. Well, bro, get some sleep. I'll see you next year. Probably. Yeah, I don't have a lot of shit set up on the stream because I'm not a streamer. I'm just someone who streams. I don't know. I don't know all about that other shit. Let's check international. I assume this will take me all the way, which is fine. What's up? No, I don't think I have. Is it good? Is it on YouTube? Because I don't have cable. I don't really watch TV. Anything I watch is on Tubi or YouTube, or I download shows or movies or whatever. But no, I don't think I've heard of that. Alaskan bush people. That's seems like that might be interesting. Something I would watch in the background, pass the time. I'll have to look it up. I remember seeing snippets of it when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I get what their dream was, to be free and live all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I support the hell out of independence and freedom, and yeah. See, this is not it. This is not where I need to go. That's to buy. I don't want to buy. I want to Let's look at the map again. But yeah, no, I'm in support of, you know, self-dependency and freedom and constitution and telling the government to leave me the fuck alone. I've had enough of your bullshit. That's your sleep show. Throw it on an episode or two later and crashed out, right? I get you. I do the same thing with some shit on the fucking tablet or the phone sometimes and fall asleep to it. Where the hell do I go? I need... There has to be a place that has, like a service place. It has a wrench, I think. But yeah, I'm with you. I am with you on that. Where the... is this a... No. Here's where I need to go. No, that's... Oh my God. I'm putting like 12 different fucking things. Back here. That's where I need to go. It's on HBO, but you might be able to watch episodes on... Yeah, I'll have to look. I will definitely look that up. It sounds like right up my alley. Buy land in Washington to build a cabin. And oh, that would be nice, dude. Yeah. Yeah, and for when civilization, if it keeps going in the same direction. But yeah, dude. All right, well, I'll pencil you in for next year, bruh. Catch you later. Have a good one. Yeah, gaming in life, bro, and my firearms. But yep, good luck to you, man. I'll catch you later. Get some sleep. See you next year. That's funny. All right, I'm going to head up here and see. Actually, I'm not. I know damn well there's not another. I'm going to have to buy a whole other truck, and I'd have to take out a loan to do that. So I'm not going to do that right now. I just got out of my loans and paid them all off, and all that money up there is... Yeah, see, I don't want to borrow. I don't want to borrow and have to owe more to the bank. I'll just save up and buy my shit outright. I borrowed in the very beginning, and it took me a minute to pay it off, and I don't want to get back into that hole. Boom. So, anyway, I guess I'll kill this stream, play some either Far Cry 5 or some Avatar or Elite Dangerous. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to go find something to eat, some chow, and shove some food down my gullet and fill my belly, and then I'll be back to gaming. This is my game time. But all right, bro, be safe. Listen to your officers. They always know best, they think. And I'll catch you next time, Bip. Salute, sir. Salute. Semper fight. And semper fuck them if they don't like it. I'm out. Oh, don't forget to secure your load. Now I'm out.
Shit.